Yeah, that was the 1989 grand final between the Canberra Raiders and the Balmain Tigers, and the Raiders coming away victorious. It's certainly a clip that you never get sick of looking
Well,
at,
you
TK, if
don't.
you're a Raiders supporter, but if you're a Balmain
You
Tiger,
don't.
it would devastate you. But it's 30 years this year.
Wow.
And the Raiders are celebrating it this weekend when they take on the West Tigers, and we're lucky enough to be joined by one of the greats of rugby league and a former teammate of mine and a wonderful ambassador for the game of rugby league, Steve Walters. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Going very, very well, mate. Can you believe it? 30 years?
Yeah, well, lucky for me, I was only 15 at the time, mate. So it must be 45 now. But it does, isn't it? That'll be like us. I was thinking about that the other day, mate, in '89, with the team from 1959 coming along to say hello. So, yeah, it does make me feel old, that's for sure.
Hey, Steve, I've been framing a market about best on ground, right? Laurie's coming off a fairly good preparation, but I think I've got you as the 6-4 favourite for best on ground over the next 2 days in Canberra.
Yeah, I got a weight advantage too, TK. I've filled out a little bit, so I've probably got a bit of a head start on Loz there. He's still pretty fit, mate. But, yeah, really looking forward to heading down the nation's capital for the weekend. Hey, what a good night that is. You'll just have a few beers and tell each other how good you were.
Well, it is a big weekend, isn't it, Steve? We've got the Hall of Fame dinner tonight, and then, of course, an old boys reunion at the football on Saturday. And it's always good to catch up with guys you haven't seen for a while.
It is, mate, and especially, I mean, we've been kicking the cans up here for the last week after getting busted in the Origin for Game 3, so it's nice to think about some good things and come down and catch up with the guys that, I mean, some of them you see around the traps, but a lot of the guys you see at the reunion, that's the only time I see them each year, so it's a great night.
Yeah. Well, Queensland made that Canberra Raiders team.
Yeah, we did. Well, they've changed strategy now, TK, of course, which I think is going really well for them. They've got all the English guys now.
Yeah.
Probably have to pay too much to the Queenslanders. They've got the Pollies over there, and then you don't lose them at the middle of the year. So I think it's a great strategy, actually, and they're all, from what I can see, good players and seem like really good fellas. So the club's sail along really well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the ex-players and a lot of Raiders supporters, Box, are quite excited because I think the first time for a while we probably genuinely believed that if we get some luck towards the back end of this season, we could win it.
Mate, there's a real optimism around. Even up here, when I bump into Raiders people up in Brisbane, you're 100% right. Even my son's on board, because when he was a young bloke, he's 18 now, but when he was young, he used to say to me, when we go in the grand final, Dad, and I said, as soon as the green machine's in, mate, he go, yeah. And he got to about 12, and then he said, well, you only say that because you know they'll never make it. But this year, he said, you might be behind me them tickets at the end of the year. So even he thinks they're going to be in there.
Yeah, no, they're playing good. They're in third position at the moment, and you mentioned those Englishmen who have added something to this Canberra side. What about yourself, mate? You spent a bit of time down there, obviously won 3 premiership. What's some of the greatest moments you've had down there?
Oh, the 3 premierships, Loz, like you look at it now, it's hard to win premierships, and it was just a good time to be at the club where you're there 11 years. You're in the semis, I think 9 to 11, 5 of those 9 times you're in the grand final, 3 of the 5 times you win them. So you can't, just lucky to be in the right place at the right time. And down there, it was a great time for myself. Not dissimilar to you, got yourself coming from G&E, just poking down from Ipswich pretty well down there. So it was just fantastic, and particularly the '89 one. I still think that because it was the first time that we won anything, and that was really just an exciting time.
We're pretty lucky, aren't we? Really, when they talk about this grand final being the best of all time, and we were a part of it.
It was, mate. At the time, you don't pay that much attention because you're just out there playing and doing what you love and training and having fun and stuff. But, it was looking back now, yeah. And I think because it was the part that I like the most about that is that you look at the Raiders team now and you think, they had a lot of quite well-established names in the game. They weren't at that stage. Just young fellas making their way. They sort of, quite a few of them end up going and doing okay in the end, but it was a young team from Canberra in '89 in particular.
Yeah, I know. They went on to do pretty good things, mate. In the wash-up, mate, Steve, after have you done the post-mortem with, obviously you're on the coaching staff with Kevvy for Queensland, have you sat down and had a post-mortem yet?
No, I just checked he was coming down to Canberra on Saturday. He's coming down, TK.
He's down?
Man too. From the early days, Kevvy. He was, of course, in the '89 final, so he's going to come down himself. So we'll let the dust settle for a week. It sort of drains you. Time you had at the end of an Origin series, win or lose, you've sort of had enough and want to refresh. But we'll catch up and have a chat. There was lots of things to like what Queensland did in the series, so that'll work out okay.
Yeah,
and, we better give Lance Daly's guitar skills at the Raiders Club on Sunday night a rap too, Loz. Been a good song. He punched out old Lance. Did a great job there, didn't he?
Every Sunday night, my old man, if he was over from Junee, he'd get up with the band and play his guitar, and away we went.
What was his go-to?
Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be Good. I think they might actually open the old private bin just as a little pop-up for the night.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what Lance did, mate, because he'd be looking a bit scruffy out having a couple of beers with you and having a good time. As soon as he knew his gig was coming up, he'd be straight in the toilets, flick the hair up, duck the shirt and the duds and get ready to go. Total professional.
He used to love it. What did he say? Good. I'll play B chord.
Johnny Be Good.
Johnny Be Good was his go-to. But just on that Origin box, I mean, you must have been proud of the boys' performance in Origin 3. I mean, a lot of people had written them off and thought that New South Wales would just turn up on the night and get the job done, but it wasn't as easy as that.
No, lots more to like about Game 3 than Game 2, mate. And I think that's sort of a general feel around the place. People obviously give you a bit of feedback around the town after the game, what they thought about how the team went, which is great. Yeah, and I think most people sort of thought that too. I mean, you can't... we've been on the end where we've won games like that, I suppose, plenty of times, so it's going to go the other way sometimes. And really good to see them kick back there in the last 20 minutes, like you always want your team to do, and fight back and get right back into it. So, yeah, you would have loved to have won, but we didn't quite get there. But lots of things to like about it.
Steve, should Kevvy take the Gold Coast Titans job if offered?
Oh, that's up to him, TK. In all honesty, I'm not spinning the Porky. I haven't even spoke to him about that. When we're away or since we've been back, I imagine he's getting a few calls about it. So I'll just let the dust settle, and he can figure that. He's 53 years old, mate. He knows what he wants to do with his life, so he can figure that one out.
He'll get a few calls this weekend, no doubt. Blokes will be telling him what to do.
Yeah, he will, mate. Well, especially, I reckon, we get a few beers into him, and then you get into him and say, what's going on, Jeff? Come on, just between us.
No, I'm really looking forward to it, mate. What time do you get down there?
Coming down the Savo, Loz. Get down there about 4:30, I think it's. Fly arrived till 5, mate. Straight home. Got my shirt on. I'm ready to go, just like the old days.
Oh, like the old days. Are you on your own, or are you bringing your lovely wife?
No, boss is coming, mate. Yeah, she's coming down too. So, yeah,
geez. Oh, well, you won't be best on ground then.
What are you, solo? You're solo.
Don't write me off.
Storming down the outside. Good on you, Box. Always great to chat, mate.
Good to talk, boys. Go to the grain machine.
See you tonight, mate. There he is, Steve Walters, all-time great.
30 years ago.
I can't believe it, TK. Cannot believe it. As he said, like in 1989, if someone said, "Yeah, look, we got the 1959 side coming
these
to
old
talk,"
buggers are coming. We're going to have to listen to their old
That's
story.
That's exactly what you'd be saying.
No, they're there, as you mentioned, mate. So the first grade team will be there at the Hall of Fame dinner tonight, which is going to be terrific. And then, obviously, a big weekend. They're sitting third and sitting beautifully on that competition table currently, the Canberra Raiders.